This is Hall of Famer Teddy Long, and right now we're getting ready to have a six-pack challenge match with Potsy and Tino on the big podcast show. Holla at a player.
It's the Potsy and Tino show. Talk the facts and let opinions flow. Laughs, hot takes, and maybe a rant. Two best buds with a mic and a plan.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Pots and Pans Network brings you its tag team champions of the world. That's right, the Road Dogg Tino Gray, the badass Rob Potsy Potchak, the Potsy and Tino show. Tino, what's going on with you, my friend?
Lots going on. I just got back from, well, not just got back, but I did Hickory this weekend. That was Friday night and Saturday night. Hold on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm also wondering, are you wearing a Snuggie, or is that just like a? You are, aren't you? I was only trying to make fun, but then I was like, no, that's not just a normal sweatshirt. That's like that's like a pseudo suede, like. You look like a big old Tino bear.
I love my Snuggie. But so went to Hickory, had a good show. This thing's comfortable as hell. Fuck you.
I bet it is.
Had a good show. Yeah. Had a good show. Came back, been dealing with Allstate. And with the car stuff. So got it. The adjuster went today, looked at it. They got it hauled to the Honda dealership. So we're off to the races. Insurance will pay for 30 days of rentals. So right now we're still good on the rental. I mean, because we still got my truck and her car. And
you never know how long it's going to take to actually get it done too.
That's why I'm trying to be smart with it. So I'm wait till they probably start working on it, and I'm definitely going to get the rental before, because we're going to drive the rental to New York. So if I get it next week or the week after,
I mean, if they're paying for it, sure.
Yeah. So yeah, put the miles.
Make sure there's no mileage like require like maxes.
It's a rental. I mean, I will, but it's a rental. And I already told the Enterprise guy to call today. That was my plan. He goes, oh, okay. So shit. All right, cool. And so so that's looking up. Hopefully we'll have it soon. So we picked up my truck yesterday and I got to work this morning, and the check engine light came back on. I'm like, fuck this truck. So I'm like, I just need this truck to last for about, we got her loan, get her car paid down or just about paid off, and then that truck's gone. It's gonna be my turn to get a new one. But yeah, I'm like, I just got it back yesterday. And then the day the check engine light came back on, I'm like, son of a bitch. What else?
Have you bought one of those little things that you can plug up to it to figure out what the check engine light means?
Yeah, I take it. That AutoZone's right there. I'll just take it to AutoZone, and they'll do that for me. It was the O2 sensor. I had that replaced, so I don't know if it's the rear O2 sensor. I'm like, I bet you now. I'm wondering if they should have had them replace both O2 sensors, but we'll figure it out. But that's about it. That's first world problems. That's all I got to really bitch about. Oh yeah,
when you got more than two cars, I mean.
Yeah, we only have two. And when she gets hers back, we'll have three. But then the one that's Matthew's car, when he gets his license and stuff. But yeah, put the tree up last night. I was so excited. We got it because we had to let it fall a little, open up a little bit. We got the lights, we got the ornaments on. I'm like, so that's what I got all the lights off in the house, just looking at the Christmas tree. That's my happy place. I love Christmas.
Well, I put up my one decoration right there. If you look in the back, you see it? You don't see it?
The lamp.
Yeah, the leg lamp.
You need to put a tree up.
That's why I live alone.
Still get you one of those little fake trees to put up. Some man, dude.
I don't have any storage space for it.
You can get little tabletop trees.
Nah, I don't need one. I'll just go over to my sister's or my mom's house if I want to see a Christmas tree. My mom even said she didn't feel like putting up a Christmas tree this year. So you know what I told her to do? She got plants in her front window. I was like, just put Christmas lights on the plants.
I just don't see it. No, man. I don't know, man. I gotta have a Christmas tree. Christmas is my favorite holiday, dude. So we go all out. Like it's the only reason the front yard hadn't been decorated is because we got back late last night and the weather's shitty today and probably shitty tomorrow. But when it comes up, we got the inflatables in the front yard and the lights and putting the lights on the trees and
Not even just shitty weather, but it's supposed to even get colder.
dude. I love cold weather. You know me. I'm not. I hate.
I don't mind it. I like cold weather more than I like hot weather.
Yeah,
because I can always put more layers on.
That and I like it this cold at this time of year too, because we live in North Carolina. Usually this time, most times it's like 70 degrees, but now it feels like, it does
feel like it's like winter is right around the corner.
Yeah. And it feels like,
well, although Christmas will probably be 74 degrees. So what's up with me? Just so you know, I am a disappointed Notre Dame football fan. And I have a rant, but I will try not to make it too long. But the college football playoff committee completely fucked up everything this year. They a week ago moved Notre Dame from number 9 to number 10. And then this week they moved Miami up to number 10, Notre Dame down to number 11, which if you understand how the playoff bracketing works, they have to take 2 other conference champions who weren't even ranked in the top 20, Tino.
It's terrible.
And move them ahead of Notre Dame to keep Notre Dame out of the playoffs. Now, Notre Dame has the best running back in the entire country. Jeremiah Love is absolutely, without a doubt, the best and most dynamic football player in college football right now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So by keeping Notre Dame out of the playoffs, he's going to the NFL. Like there's almost no way that he stays in college because he's projected to be a top 5 draft pick. Okay. So you, as ESPN, you literally take him away from the possibility of being the all-time leading rusher at Notre Dame because he's not going to play in an unnecessary bowl game, but he would play for a national championship.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because nowadays players, if they're like, I'm a first round draft pick, I'm not going to blow out my knee in the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
Right.
And I love Pop-Tarts, don't get me wrong. But, like the Tony the Tiger Bowl, I don't give a fuck about it.
They're great, though.
Well, apparently not, because Notre Dame decided after getting booted out of the college football playoff, they're not playing a bowl game this year. Like the entire team, not just certain players opting out. The entire team said we are not playing that bowl game.
Why?
So I'll put it this way: who runs the college football playoff, like on TV? One specific network who we complain about all the time, even when it comes to WWE now.
USA.
No.
Peacock.
No. Bigger. When it comes to sports.
Oh, ESPN.
There you go. So the worldwide leader
in sports entertainment
kept Notre Dame, and I mean they did it. They did it as like the best way that I heard it was as a plot twist. All like the 5 times they have mentioned the rankings and who was going to be in the college football playoff. Notre Dame was in, Notre Dame was in, Notre Dame was in, Notre Dame was in, Notre Dame's out.
What the fuck?
Plot twist, right? Oh, it'll get ratings. Well, I'm going to put it this way. When they were actually announcing like the times and everything for the football games, and Notre Dame was coming out saying we're not playing in a bowl game either. Do you know what the number 1 trending news item was? It wasn't the college football playoff anymore. It was that Notre Dame opted out of going bowling.
That's bullshit.
Well, it means like with Notre Dame not playing in a bowl game this year, which would have been broadcast most likely on ESPN.
Yep.
ESPN makes no money off the brand of Notre Dame for the rest of the season. And today, the athletic director of Notre Dame football, and just Notre Dame school in its entirety, because obviously they have one athletic director, he was doing media rounds. And you know what network he wasn't on today? He was not on ESPN. Now, they took his comments and they played them back multiple times all over their networks, but he gave it to NBC Sports with the Dan Patrick Show, and he gave it to the guy who does the 1 minute or the one bite pizza reviews, Dave Portnoy.
Wow.
And this is after last week he was on the Pat McAfee Show, which is on ESPN. And he was basically told, "Hey, we've already been told that we know what's coming." And then they pulled the wool over their eyes and said, "Nope, Notre Dame first team out."
Wow.
So the biggest brand in college football and the only independent team that's really worth a damn put their money where their mouth was and said, "Fuck you, ESPN." And I love it.
Wow.
I don't love it for the seniors that weren't going to get to play unless one of the younger guys who opts out of the bowl game says, "I'm not playing," and the practices that they get to do and everything like that. But the thing that I thought was pretty solid from the team was that the statement that was made and put out by Notre Dame football specifically said, "As a team, we have decided to not play in a bowl game." So they made the decision as a team. Those young men made that decision. The AD didn't make the decision. The head coach didn't make the decision. Now, listening to the Pat McAfee Show today, just because we know he's a pro wrestling fan,
Mm-hmm.
the AD going out doing all these press junkets and everything, sitting there talking about how mad he is at the ACC for talking shit about Notre Dame when they're a partner with the ACC, or how ESPN basically did all this shenanigans for whatever, makes Pete Bavacqua, the AD at Notre Dame, look like a heel.
Mm-hmm.
But the one guy that they don't have doing press junkets and everything is the head coach, because everybody likes him. And the Pat McAfee Show said it's because they want to keep him babyface.
Wow, that's stupid.
So the only other thing going on for me, I did start a brand new trivia night at Grog Alley in Raleigh on Thursday nights. So if anybody wants to come out and try. What's that?
Grog Alley. So you didn't tell me you get another trip. So that's what, 3 now?
Yeah.
Really?
So now I do it Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights.
How'd you get that?
Well, it's my buddy Billy who owns the place. He works on comic books with me, so he was like, "Hey, we're trying to get more people in the place. So do you want to come out and start doing trivia?" I said,
Alley in Raleigh. Yeah. Where's that?
Do you know where London Bridge used to be?
Mm-mm.
So it's right on Hargate Street. So it's right in that little bar zone.
See, he's trying to get people in. It sounds like you might need live music.
Well, actually, that's a great idea. I'll mention that this week, because he actually told me to mention it to Bernie, who is part of Fear State, the band out of Fayetteville, and he told me to tell them that he's looking for acts and whatever. So yeah, I'll let him know that you're available. But anyways, Zor Saves Christmas comes out Wednesday, Tino. It's finally here. And I will be at Triangle Town Center Mall in Raleigh on Wednesday at Fight or Flight Comics from 11 to 4 before I do trivia that night. So anybody that wants to come out, they also have a special cover that is only available through their shops. So anybody that wants to come out and pick up one of the Fight or Flight local cover exclusives, they'll be available that day as well. And then Saturday, I believe I've got it confirmed, I will be in Fayetteville at Dragon's Lair, doing a signing out there for the same book. So
this Saturday?
Yes. Yeah, so the 10th and the 13th, I've got signings set up now to let people get what should be on their Christmas list. Zor Saves Christmas. Now, Tino, you've actually read the book. You and I know that we've talked about it a little bit, but you said that you believe it stands up to what we expect from the quality of a Zor story, right?
Yes. Yeah. It's awesome. It's awesome. You guys should get it.
So some of the comments that have been made about it are like Cliff Blazinski, who created Scrapper as well as Gears of War, stated that it's like OG Pixar. So, he really feels that the story has heart, like like the original gangster Pixar movies, whereas now he kind of feels like they've kind of lost that for the money.
Yeah.
But I took that as a high compliment, because obviously I think the older Pixar movies are the better Pixar movies. And then our buddy Josh Boyd from the Brothers Boyd mentioned that he thinks it's going to be a new Christmas tradition to read it to his kids at school and everything every year. So I was pretty happy to hear all that.
That's awesome.
All right, moving on, Tino. What are you watching this week?
What did I watch this week? Obviously, our regular shows. I haven't watched last night's tracker. I don't know if Watson came last night, but but I've caught up on the ones that I have watched. What interesting, and I don't know if you've been interested or not. I've been seeing a lot about it on TikTok. Apparently, 50 Cent is a very petty gentleman. Because
is this the P Diddy?
Dude, I haven't
watched it.
I watched all 4 parts. He went for that motherfucker's throats and had receipts. He had videos backing everything up. I'm like, God.
I mean, you can't argue fact.
And Diddy, there's a lot of things about Diddy. I'm like, Diddy's an ass. After you watch this video,
so he's more like P Dirty.
yeah, and a lot of shit he does, and that's coming out now, and he's got video of people saying that they've got. I'm not going to tell you what happened, but they got video of crimes that he has been a part of, and people admitting and him getting caught on tape. Kind of, yeah. I highly recommend it. It's a 4-part series. They're about 50 minutes. The last episode's a little over an hour. But dude.
So speaking of docu-series, Netflix also last week, well, I guess 2 weeks ago now, dropped the Being Eddie Murphy documentary.
That's I'm gonna watch that too. I knew you were saying that.
It's excellent.
I haven't watched it yet, so don't. Yeah.
It has interviews with people in Eddie Murphy's life that you wouldn't expect to see interviews with.
Really?
Yeah. So and Eddie Murphy is a part of it. What everybody's asking now is, wasn't there supposed to be like 2 Eddie Murphy comedy specials coming up that we still haven't seen?
I thought so.
Yeah, I thought so too. So I don't know what's going on with all that, but Being Eddie was actually very good. Landman dropped a new episode this week. Excellent again. Welcome to Derry. Tino, the best compliment someone dropped for Welcome to Derry this week was, the best episodes of Stranger Things are Welcome to Derry.
Oh shit.
This week's episode starts in 1908 and gives some history for what happens in that small town. And there's only 1 episode left, so it's 8 episodes. I was hoping for 10, but it's 8 episodes. Last episode is going to be this Sunday, and I can't wait. The thing that interests me now is whether or not they've got enough information and enough story to give it another season after this.
Is it that good?
Dude, it's excellent. And it's scary. Like it is a straight up 8 hours of horror movie.
Really?
Yeah. And it's also happening in, the upper Northeast, where there's a lot of racism back in the 50s and everything else. So it all has a place in the story. So yeah, but I told you before, you do have to watch It Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 before you watch it, or you have to watch them after you watch it, just so. But I think that if you watch the movies first and then watch this, you definitely get the way that it's meant to be consumed. But I don't see a problem with you watching this series and then watching it and then It Chapter 2.
Okay.
Kind of like the Christmas Story, Christmas and A Christmas Story. You can watch either one first if you really want to.
And it'll
clue you in
go right into each other.
So the TV series doesn't necessarily flow right into it, but there are definitely like callbacks from the series in the movies. Like you might see a photograph in the TV series, and then you're like, oh, I know where that photo came from now because you see it in the movie.
Got it. Okay.
You know, so yeah, there's some really cool stuff that goes on throughout it. It's really interesting, and obviously I've been talking about how Dick Halloran from The Shining and Doctor Sleep is in it. So it's one of those things where like the entire Stephen King universe kind of ties into a nice bow from it. So I've been pretty excited about like where it's going. But like I said, I don't know if you have enough material to make a second season because the way the It entity happens is it's like every 27 years it shows up in Derry.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's sleeping, can you actually do like a season of the show where just other types of scary shit are going on in the small town? I don't know. Because it definitely still all ties into the specific character of that entity. And I say that because obviously Pennywise is what we see the character as, but it's not like Pennywise is just like what it's inhabiting.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So and they explain it in a neat way in this week's episode. I felt like so. So anyways, we got some news this week because there hasn't been much else that I watched. I caught up on Brilliant Minds. I guess everything's pretty much like getting ready to be on like the little winter hiatus until like February or some shit.
Yeah, that was like because a couple of my shows, they're like fall whatever.
Fall finale.
Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Already? That you just fucking came back.
Yeah, exactly. Like and you know what I think it is? I think most of these shows aren't doing like the 22 episode season anymore. So they're sitting there going, okay, how do we drag it out so it's still the same amount of time that it used to take? Yeah. So you get your first episodes in September and you finish in like March. But nobody wants to wait like 4 months in between.
No.
You know,
especially the ones where you're leaving me fucking cliffhangers.
The Boys dropped its season 5 trailer.
Wow.
It comes out in April.
It's been 5 years since that show started. Damn.
I think it's actually been longer because I think it started like right as the pandemic hit. So that's at 5 years right there, and it's not coming out until
I guess they probably because they did kind of have a break in shows during the pandemic at some point. So yeah, that makes sense.
And with the Boys, we at least have Gen V, and they also did that Diabolical cartoon series. So we've had things in between, so that way when seasons took longer to actually develop, or one of the actors was doing a movie or whatever, they could span it out further.
Yeah.
So I was happy about that. Fallout. Did you watch the first season of Fallout when it came out last year?
Mm-mm.
Have you played the video game Fallout?
Mm-mm. I haven't played that one.
All right, so it's on Prime.
Which video game is Fallout?
It's actually Fallout.
No, what's the game? What's the premise of the game?
Oh, it's post-apocalyptic where like in the 1900s, someone started dropping bombs, so everybody was living in fallout shelters, and then now it's like 200 years later after the ground is finally where it's not toxic, so they're opening up the fallout shelters, and the people who have been procreating inside these shelters are now walking out for the first time. Walton Goggins is in it. So I reap his praises every time I talk about him. He was on Righteous Gemstones. He was the bad guy in Ant-Man 2. He was on Justified as Boyd Crowder. He was if you ever watched Vice Principals, he was the one of the two vice principals. It was him and Danny God, what's his name? The guy from Eastbound and Down.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was him. It was those two playing vice principals at the same school.
Oh shit.
It went like 3 seasons. It was funny on HBO. But anyway, Fallout. He plays a ghoul, which is basically someone who didn't make it into the Fallout shelter, so they got irradiated, and now they're basically immortal. But at the same time, he looks like a ghoul. He doesn't look like a human anymore. So his nose has been like ripped off and whatever. And one of the things about Walton Goggins is that he says that he's got high anxiety, right? So he says that like the first couple times they were putting him in the makeup, it took like 4 hours to put him in the makeup. And I mean, you have to put him in the full face and everything else for the makeup because they got to remove his nose and do all this other shit, right? So he said he figured out a way to fall asleep while they're putting the makeup on him. Well, then he would wake up and he'd look in the mirror and he'd be like, "Oh shit!"
Scare himself.
He'd scare the shit out of himself. And I mean, who wouldn't? You get like purple skin, you're missing a nose, you don't have ears, like it's pretty wild shit. So that one I think comes back next week. And if Amazon does it like they did last time, they're just going to drop all 8 episodes at one time, which Amazon doesn't normally do. But more than likely, they'll drop like 2 episodes the first week and then an episode every week after that. Anyways, speaking of different things on different streaming platforms, Tino.
Yeah, see Michael's.
No, I did not. Netflix has everything. Well, Michael, we're about to talk about that because Netflix apparently won the $82.7 billion bid for Warner Brothers Discovery, Tino. But as Lee Corso used to say, not so fast, my friend, because Paramount has decided to drop a late night bid on this. And I want your opinion, and I don't know why it keeps dropping the thing off the screen. I'm going to just put it up by itself like that. Hopefully it stays up this time. The $82.7 billion, it got to the point where Netflix actually sent me an email. It turned it off again.
I don't know.
I don't know what's going on with it. I keep hitting the show button, but it just keeps blinking off. Netflix actually sent me an email saying they have now acquired Warner Brothers Discovery. And it did it again. I'm just leaving it off. Except Paramount. Now, you were telling me that the Netflix bid does not include television networks, TNT, TBS, probably Turner Classic Movies, CNN. Didn't include any of their television networks.
Because they were going to film, they're going to start their own kind of company using
right. Yeah, they're going to break it, similar to what Paramount or not Paramount, but Universal did with this new company called Versant, which now owns USA, Bravo, E, all of those channels. Paramount, now that bid, basically what we were just saying, the $82.7 billion would be about a $27 per share to buy out the stock outright. Okay. Paramount came through today and said, well, hold on. We want it all. And Warner Brothers Discovery was like, well, what do you mean you want it all? And they're like, we want a hostile takeover because we'll buy your shares out at $30 a share, but we want everything. We want the networks. We want the license. We want
that too. And I know we don't talk about politics on here, but I think a lot of that has to do because somebody wants control of it because he's in control of the FCC. So he wants to be able to control what goes out and what goes on, which surprises me about Paramount because right now South Park is roasting them motherfuckers.
Well, not just South Park. Keep in mind, they just signed Jon Stewart through 2026 for his one night a week on The Daily Show as well. Now, this is the same Paramount that basically is forcing Stephen Colbert off the late night show. But it is the same one that has given complete control to Trey and Matt over at South Park, and they are doing everything in their power to make their feelings known.
So do we
so the deal, if Paramount gets it, is worth $102 billion.
I thought it was 172. I don't know where I got that number. Was it, what, 102?
So 72. So, and this is where you probably got it. The 72 was how much the actual bid to buy was from Netflix, but then Netflix would also inherit the debt. So the deal is worth 82.7.
Okay.
So
Okay.
72.8 or something like that, plus the debt. This deal is for it's either 102 or 104 billion dollars, making it the largest purchase of like anything ever. And I'm stating that because keep in mind that when Microsoft bought Activision so they could have Call of Duty and one of the like King games that makes all like the Fruit Ninja and all those Candy Crush games. That was like 68 billion.
Damn.
And when Disney bought Fox, that was like 72 billion. And they didn't get the networks when they did that because the networks had to be spun off into its own thing.
Shit.
So at 100 now here's what I want to know. Paramount just got bought by Skydance. So where the fuck did they come up with $102 billion?
Oh, they had that shit stopped away.
Well, remember, because they did just sign the UFC for what, 11 billion?
Oh, they have money. They just don't want us, they don't want everybody to know they have money.
Well, it's going to be really interesting because you and I were talking about this deal when we were sitting there trying to figure out what exactly it meant for AEW, because if Netflix gets it, that means that the streaming service that currently has the WWE's Monday Night Raw rights would also have the streaming rights to AEW television, which would lead me to think that AEW would be out on their ass.
You think so?
They might finish the deal, but you wouldn't see advertising like you do right now. Like it would be all of a sudden, instead of having primetime Wednesday night slots, they'd probably be moved to 10 o'clock at night, or kind of like how Sinclair used to do with Ring of Honor back in the day, where it was like if you didn't have a DVR recording it for you, you had no idea what the fuck time it was on.
Yeah, but I would think that Netflix would be about trying to recoup that money. You know what I mean? And trying to.
Well, which company do you want to keep happier? The one you paid $5 billion to for the WWE rights, or the one that you're paying like $160 million to because you got it acquired in a deal?
I don't know. WWE needs to shut the fuck up because ESPN ain't been happy with them bitches so far. So they might.
Yeah, apparently that deal is not making anybody happy. So
they might want to shut the fuck up.
Well, I don't think they have to. I don't think they have to get anybody to shut the fuck up. Because they're going to get their money. Like that ESPN money is going to come in. It's just you're not going to see just like I said, you're not going to see the advertising for WrestleMania like you would see if it was still just on Peacock. You know what I mean? Though who knows? I mean, the ESPN right now, I mean, I like throughout all of the college football season, I kept seeing the commercials for WWE events. So
here's my it's snowing. I can look the street light. I can see it. Sorry, it's like ooh bird.
Squirrel.
Netflix, they were like, oh yeah, they when they bought the Warner Brothers and all that, they got all the lot and all the movie making thing. If Paramount gets it, they're going to be a fucking mega movie studio then, wouldn't they?
So I'm going to tell you this. The reason why I like the idea of Paramount getting it is because it puts Showtime and HBO under the same banner.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like that because they've always been the two premier networks that do like the really cool television shows, movies, all that stuff for themselves.
I like Skinamax back in the day.
Exactly, which is part of HBO. At the same time, the reason why I like Paramount getting this is because I don't think it prevents movies from going in movie theaters. Whereas I think if it's all on Netflix at some point, Netflix is all about their streaming service. They don't give a fuck about movie theaters.
Mm.
So,
and a lot of the SAG, and I think the director people, whatever, I can't think of the name of the director organization for the actors, directors. They wanted to sit down with Netflix and like, what does this mean for us? You know, like you said, because that would affect them not making movies, but if you're not putting movies in the theater, the fuck, you know?
oh, now I see what it is. It has like a 10-second timer for it.
Well,
But why?
Can you adjust the timer?
I'm trying to.
Hmm.
No, I don't think I can. Oh, hold on. Timer off. Found it.
Dumbass.
There we go. Must be a new feature on here because this thing drops new features like every 2 weeks now. But now it's back up. Now we're good there. That is a really good question because right now the way that like the Oscars work is that you have to actually have your film get a theater screening for at least like 14 days to even be, classified as a movie that can win those awards.
Yep.
So Netflix has done very limited theater stuff when they're like, oh, this one's good. We should try to get an award with it. So they put it in the theater for 2 weeks, but they put it in like a very limited amount of theaters, like 34 theaters across the country, just so they can get that thing across whatever barrier they have to. Whereas Skydance is the company that makes all of like the Mission Impossible movies.
Mm.
So I'm totally fine with Paramount getting that stuff. Now, granted, it probably means my Paramount Plus goes up to $20 a month like Netflix is right now because that amount of money, someone's got to pay for it somewhere.
Mm. And didn't you say with the Warner Brothers, you were telling me they get like, what was it? What'd you say? They get like the Muppets and what do they get?
Not the Muppets. So with Warner Brothers, they get all the DC Universe properties, all the Hanna-Barbera properties. So your Yogi Bears, your Flintstones, all that stuff. You get Harry Potter.
You
get shit. I don't even know the rest of them.
Okay.
Basically anything that was on CW.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I mean, like, not to mention all the backlog stuff too from all that.
So
but I mean,
Netflix would get NXT.
Well, no. So NXT is licensed, and so CW is not one of the networks that's involved with this because they're a broadcast network now. So they wouldn't be for either of these, but like Supernatural or the Arrowverse stuff, all that. Well, yeah, but that's all DC.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, DC is where they're probably thinking the most bankable money is in all of this because even if we're not talking about making movies and TV shows, we're talking about what's probably the most noticed logos in the world. Batman's logo, Superman's logo.
They get Peacemaker.
They would get Peacemaker, absolutely. So and not to mention they would get it. They would get all this other stuff that's been going on. So it's pretty wild.
So what happens now? So Netflix and Paramount's like not so fast. So was Netflix a done deal? Can Warner Brothers or HBO, whatever, still back out and say, nope, we're going to go with Paramount?
So
done and signed.
Well, this is where it gets really weird and interesting because as I told you, if the deal with Netflix fell through under any circumstance after signing the paperwork, and then they found like there was like something that wouldn't let it go through the FCC or something, Netflix would owe Warner Brothers like $8 billion. Okay. So like 10% of the entire deal would just be like a cash transaction. Hey, we owe this to you because the deal fell through. Probably pain and suffering, if you will, on that. The other side, though, is that I don't think that would apply if Paramount ends up being the high bidder. Warner Brothers now has a 10-day window to make a decision as to which deal is better for them. And the question is going to be whether or not they think that those networks as a separate entity are going to be worth $20 billion. And I got to be honest with you, I don't think they are. You'd be hard pressed to find a cable television network that I think would be worth $20 billion. Maybe HBO. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff. Speaking of TV deals, Tino, let's talk about a different one. TNA has signed with AMC.
That's part of the reason why I don't watch TNA, because I can't find the channel. But I got AMC on my YouTube TV, so I can probably watch it now.
It will now start January 15th. It will start I believe it's starting with a live episode. I don't know if they're going to be live every week because they like to do TV tapings, but it is going to be 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Thursday nights on AMC, and it's going to be called Thursday Night Impact.
Nice.
And here's the interesting that I heard about this. Did this one do it too? It did. Why are these things all adding like 10-second timers now? The thing I read that I thought was really odd about this was that they said that the WWE could opt out of their deal with them with a 60-day notice.
WWE could opt out of what deal?
With TNA, you know, their partnership deal.
Oh, okay.
And I have to ask you, why would they?
It's going
TNA being on AMC.
They get more titles on their shows.
Well, they get more titles on their shows, but they also get use of WWE wrestlers on their shows and vice versa. It means WWE has now all 5 days of the week that their wrestlers can be on TV. Well, not Wednesday.
No.
Well, Evolve,
yeah.
Yeah. So all 5 nights of the regular week, WWE is going to have wrestlers on TV. Pretty wild, isn't it?
And Thursday nights now, man, because it's when I watch Evolve. Because I'm like, okay, ain't got no wrestling on, and I'll watch Evolve. Well, guess that's going to go out the window now. TNA's coming.
So what I think is also interesting about this deal, real quick, and then we'll jump into the wrestling because we gotta talk about NXT Deadline and we gotta talk about the Continental Classic. Wow, that's a big yawn.
Yo, I'm tired, dude. It's been a long Sorry.
No, you're fine. Does TNA have the sustainability with their current champions that they've got? Like Frankie Kazarian being the world champion, Leon Slater being your X Division champion, Zyla
Lee.
Li Yang Lee being your women's knockouts champion. Like, are those people sustainable, or are they going to have to make some decisions and go, hey, Nick Nemeth is going to be our champion because people recognize him?
Unfortunately, that's what they always go to. And I hate that they do that, with ex-WWE stars. I'm all about raising new stars. But if they're going to a new network, they're going to have to at first have names that people recognize, right? So I can see them, and maybe not probably all of them. Like I said, because he, what's his name, the young guy, he's had that.
Leon Slater.
He's had it a while, so there's about time for him to change it up anyway. And they'll probably put it on somebody with a name. I just hope they don't put it. If you're going to use older talent, if you're going to use name brand talent, don't use old talent. You know what I mean? You still want to say we're young enough, we're still kind of fresh. Like, I can see.
So not a Nick Nemeth.
Yeah, not a Nick Nemeth, but maybe put an Ethan Page over there. You know what I'm saying? He's still got the WWE name behind him, but he's still young, and maybe he might be.
Well, he's 37.
Okay, well, you know what I mean. We'll find somebody on that roster.
So you're saying no Tommy Dreamers, no Bully Rays?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can kind of see that. I wouldn't go 50 something guys.
Yeah.
But Frankie Kazarian's in amazing shape right now.
And yeah, I can see Frankie. I can probably, but Frankie Kazarian, while he's been around, I don't think he's still a name that everybody knows. You know what I mean?
Sure. I mean, he's a TNA original, which
Yeah.
which helps. And apparently, right now they are trying to get WWE to allow them to use AJ Styles on the first night.
And I was gonna say AJ, but he's a little older too. But yeah, bring AJ Stack. But yeah, get ready to rock. If they he hates that song. But if they brought him back, that'd be cool. I wouldn't mind.
You know what's funny is he hates that song and we love it.
We love it, dude. I wish they would. I think you said on one of the shows, I don't know if we will probably ever hear it again if somebody does it as a goof on him.
And they did.
Did they?
Yeah, when he went out at Slammiversary, that's the music he came out to, and he turned and looked at the gorilla position because he was like, they were supposed to give him his current music. So he gave him that, and he was like,
that's fucking hilarious. But that's when you got AJ in TNA, that's what people remember.
I agree. It's going to be interesting because if I were booking for TNA, I would try to get AMC to give me a special like the week before where I basically broke down my roster.
You know what else would be good though? Only because that song was fucking everywhere. I could see them putting the title back on Joe Hendry.
But I mean, sure, but he is now a full-time WWE wrestler. And I agree, but again, the way that I would show people what TNA wrestling was, because right now the problem when a wrestling company gets a TV deal when they haven't been on a lot, like Access Television, I think was in like 22 million homes, right? AMC's in 66 million homes, so this is a big deal.
You know what?
They're tripling the size of the amount of people that can see them. Here's the problem, though. Unless you've seen them on the CW currently, you don't know who any of these wrestlers are. So why are you gonna tune in to the very first episode on AMC and then want to tune in the next week if you don't know who they are, right? Like you accidentally turn the channel and get to a wrestling program. You're waiting to see a name you remember. You're waiting to see the Dolph Ziggler. You're waiting to see the Bobby Roodes or the James Storms and that's only if you know TNA. But if you don't know TNA, how do you start recognizing them? So my point to what I'm trying to say is I would make sure that before the show goes on the air, you ask AMC to do a special where you just talk about your roster and talk about how long this person's been around and kind of do like a behind the scenes episode so that way people actually can start learning who they're watching before they tune into that first episode and go, I'm ready to root for this guy. Because that first episode, if they just come in guns a-blazing like they're just continuing their stories, I'm going to be lost.
And I want them to go back to.
They're not doing the 6-sided ring.
Yes,
they're not doing it.
Because that would set them apart and to make them different. You know what I mean? That'd give them.
Did you know that after they went back to the 4-sided ring, that people like AJ Styles actually started talking about how they didn't realize the toll it took on their bodies for the 6-sided ring?
Mm-mm.
So a squared circle, so your typical square ring, right, has the 4 pillars that hold the entire ring up. The 6-sided ring, you then have to put bars underneath it to make sure that it can maintain that 6-sided shape.
Oh.
So people would take a bump and you might not get the same sound. You might not get the same flexibility out of the mat. So yeah, it set them apart, made them look different. But how many of those people are sitting there going, man, my back is fucked up now?
Yeah. And I guess for me watching, obviously I'm not in there taking bumps. It's awesome to see. But
I'm not even gonna say it was awesome to see, but it was
I can see
different.
that. I can see
It was
that. I can see where
different.
I didn't realize it was hurting people. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it literally is because they had to put things underneath it to maintain that shape.
Well, then no, don't.
Yeah.
No.
So okay, we're there now, but I have one other thing, and it's gonna try to put a timer on me. So I'm gonna turn off the timer. And I told you off air I was not going to explain this one to you until we were on the air. John Cena recently revealed what he wanted his retirement tour to look like. And you know what he said to Triple H when he said, I got this idea?
Doctor of Thugonomics. Word life.
No, and you're thinking too small. I'm thinking like just the presentation, like what he was going to do, like how many dates was he going to do, what the plan was.
Oh, okay.
He wanted to do 220 dates.
Wow.
He said, I'm going to take off from everything else I'm doing. I'm going to give you guys another year with me, and I want to hit every town.
Wow.
And then he said, and then they told me, we only need you for 36 dates.
They probably want to keep him special. You know what I'm saying? I can.
Yeah, but think about it like this. If he had done the house show circuit, it would have kept him special.
But that would give more chances to be hurt too.
It would have, but it doesn't mean he would have wrestled every night. It just means he would have come out. He would have said something to everybody. He would have talked about his time in the town. Maybe had to do an attitude adjustment or something to somebody. But let's also be real. If he had worked 220 dates,
he already walks like a question mark.
He does, but you know what? His body probably would have adapted to it. He probably would be walking better right now because he'd be coming out every night and doing it.
Okay.
You know, but we were robbed by TKO with this. Now, I don't know if it's because they said, he said, hey, this is what I want per appearance. And that's when they came back and said, okay, we'll pay you per appearance, but we only want you for 36. Or what the deal was, because I don't know if you know this, he made like 1.25 million per episode for Peacemaker.
What?
1.25 million per episode for Peacemaker.
Son of a bitch.
Frank Grillo, who played Rick Flag Sr., $600,000 an episode for Peacemaker.
I'm in the wrong line of work. Shit.
Now, keep in mind, the guy that played Lex Luthor, playing Lex Luthor made $2 million as Lex Luthor.
In the show or the movie?
In the movie.
He made $2 million?
$2 million. So
I got a
in
bald
the
head.
episode he was in, he probably made that again.
I got a bald head.
I know, right? So, but tell me it's not shocking to hear that John Cena was like, I want to go on tour for one more year. I want to do it. And he was basically saying, I wanted to do it like how Kobe Bryant and Derek Jeter did their final season. Announce it early, set it up to where I can go to every town one more time, go overseas, do the tours over there, do all that stuff, give WWE one more year of my life, and give everything to it. And then what did we get? We got a botched heel turn that The Rock fucked up. We finally get some good matches with him. And now we're relegated to just watching him talk about things on NXT for a couple weeks. Until this Saturday, when I'm hearing he says that he wants to be the first match on the show.
He said he wants to get the fuck out of there.
Well, dude, and let's be honest. His most recent appearances when he comes out, does a little bit on the microphone and then dipped, all happened at the beginning of the show. And you know it's because he was like, fuck it, I want a steak. It's not like he sat backstage. Like that dude dipped out.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him.
Nope.
He did the Brock Lesnar approach.
He said, I got my money. I'm out.
He said, I did what you paid me to do. And you saw that just like Green Shirt Guy, he's got his wife out there every week. She's checking out the towns.
Why not?
Did you hear that Nick Khan actually talked about Green Shirt Guy this week on Impulsive?
No.
And he said that he goes through this top tier thing to sit there and buy the tickets. And I'm like, bullshit. Because Logan Paul was like, I heard a story about how he got injured or something, and instead of suing you guys gave him front row tickets for life. And he goes, not true. And I'm like, bullshit.
Who said that?
Logan Paul.
Oh, no, who said it wasn't true?
Oh, Nick Khan. Nick Khan said it's not true. I still hold to that one, man. And I'm probably wrong. He probably does buy his tickets, but no way he pays premium prices for them. And that's what Nick Khan was trying to say. It's like, fuck you, he pays premium. Like, no way that motherfucker shows up and is front row, dead center on TV every goddamn episode if he's not getting a deal of some sort.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about this John Cena thing? I told you you were going to be shocked, were you?
Yeah, dude. And that would have been awesome.
We got robbed
yeah.
of 2 Raleigh shows with no John Cena this year.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it's because John Cena had his worst match ever here against John Laurinaitis.
Huh.
We were at it. We're in the video game because of that match.
People power.
Yeah, exactly. People power. And 4 days before that, they fired the Big Show just to bring him back at that show. Fuck them.
Stupid.
At least we got CM Punk versus Bryan Danielson on that show. Ready to talk about some weekly wrestling? We'll try to get through it pretty quick. Was there anything from
Michael Turner agrees with me. Alter Earth Lex Tino, Black Lex Luthor.
I mean, in the Superman cartoon, people tend to think that Clancy Brown voicing Lex Luthor was black, and then in Harley Quinn it was Giancarlo Esposito
Voicing who?
Voicing Lex Luthor.
Yeah. Hey.
Although I think they changed it for the last season that they did. I think it was a different person voicing it.
Wow.
Anyways, was there anything from Monday Night Raw we need to talk about? I can look real quick if you want me to.
Your girl came back. Watch me. She came out and they raised hell.
Well, she was at Survivor Series.
That's what I'm saying, but she came back on Raw.
So with Liv Morgan's return, she did that moment where she slapped Dominic in the face, but she also told the Judgment Day that it was that she was sickened by what they've been doing recently, like the fact that they were trash.
I thought she was going to turn on Roxanne, because when she came up, she hugged Big Head and Finn. And then she kind of walked by Roxanne and just kind of gave her one of these, and then went up and hugged Raquel. I'm like, oh shit! But no, she came out and helped them beat down the women's champion at the end and gave them both the champions, which makes me think Liv's going to go. They're going to try to get all the titles again. Liv's going for the main title. Roxanne and Raquel is going to get the women tag, and Big Head and Finn are going to go get their tag back. So I'm thinking, do you think they're going to hold all the gold again now that Liv's back?
I don't, and I think this was the beginning of the sowing of the seed of the group kicking her out.
Kicking Liv out?
Yeah, because I mean, she talked trash to all of them, and it was one of those moments where it's like she's like, oh yeah, Daddy Dom took care of business or whatever. He literally needed every single person in the Judgment Day to do it. In his hometown.
Yeah.
Like have his Uncle Chavo come out and help him.
Ooh, Chavo.
Dude, that would have been that would have blown the roof off the place if Chavo came out. Instead of instead of reminding the WWE, I just want to point out at Survivor Series, instead of reminding the WWE universe of the entire John Cena heel turn by having Liv Morgan do the exact same thing to John Cena that he did to Cody Rhodes. It's bullshit. Like, I didn't want to remember the John Cena heel turn.
That would have been fucking awesome. You saying that when he won that belt, all of a sudden you heard "Viva la Raza,"
and Chavo comes riding out on a damn.
Yeah, we lie, we cheat, we steal. That'd been fucking hilarious.
So there is something else we need to talk about from Raw, and I know that it's moot now because of SmackDown, but we got the semifinal match between Jey Uso and LA Knight in the Last Time Is Now tournament. And Tino, when LA Knight won this match, I was shocked off my ass. Like, I jumped up and I was like, what? And then we got the sowing of the seeds of the Jey Uso heel turn, right? Like, he's starting to do when Jericho used to be on Monday Nitro, and he would throw a hissy fit about things. Like, him just throwing all the Prime shit and everything, and then trying to lift the to lift the steps and barely getting them up and everything. Like, but LA Knight winning this match, and there was that weird moment in the match where LA Knight went to do the superplex, slipped, and I'm even going to say that the way that he balanced himself on that top rope, I thought his left leg, after his right leg slipped off before, I thought that left leg was going to slip off, and he ended up hitting Jey with that superplex, and Jey no-sold that shit. Jey just rolled over and started like scream, and then finally like rolled over to get pinned. Like, what was that?
He needed to get slapped in the head, kicked in the head again, like CM Punk did him.
And then when Jey went backstage after throwing the tantrum, he kept sniffing. He's like Jackie. He kept calling her Jackie O. Her name is Jackie Redmond. It's not Jackie O. Jackie O was the former first lady in the country.
Maybe that's his nickname for her.
Maybe, but that doesn't make any sense. Should be Jackie R.
No,
Jackie R. You know, but he's like Jackie O, Jackie O, Jackie O, and it was like, what is he on repeat? What is going on here?
Jackie O, Jackie O.
But like, he looked like he was on blow.
Nah, I don't think Tony Khan was backstage with him.
No, only a different Khan was back there. That whole tournament was bad. Yes, Michael Turner, we agree. We will agree on this. In fact, the biggest surprise of the tournament, and the only surprise, I think, was LA Knight actually making it to the finals. Everything else was like predetermined here, and I didn't like that. Like my number one problem with this entire tournament was them starting by saying he's going to face somebody he's never faced before, and then you put like 5 guys in the tournament that he's faced before.
And I think because they knew that this tournament was so predictable, I think that's why they threw in
the LA Knight win.
Yeah.
Well, I think the LA Knight win actually made sense when it came to we're moving forward with a Jey Uso crisis of conscience thing. You know, like it just fit that. And I even liked how LA Knight, when he was like, sorry to say, Jey Uso, my man. You know, it's like he's like sitting there propping him up, but he's like, but you couldn't get the job done. You know? And I know that we talk about how he's got the mannerisms of The Rock and Stone Cold and everything, but he's been doing that leaning his head with the sunglasses on, where he literally is pulling a Rock move when he's sitting there, got the microphone, and he's sitting there looking, you know, he's got his head tilted a certain way and everything. And it's like, bro, okay, we know that you grew up liking him. We know that you even sound like the two of them amalgamated together into one human being. But at some point, you got to have something of your own.
He has all his own catchphrases. I think the mannerisms are okay. He's got the LA Knight. He's got the let me talk to you. He's got the dummy. Yeah. He said,
well, he doesn't use that one anymore.
He does do yeah. He goes dumb.
He does yeah, but he doesn't really do the dummy.
And then he goes, what was the other one he had with everybody saying? And it's just a fact of life. So he's got his own little catchphrase.
I guess. And you're right. You're right. I'm not dogging him. I actually enjoy the character. It's a throwback, so I really do like it. And he backs it up. I feel like he's doing some of his best work in the ring. He did slip on the rope, but I thought he corrected that. Yeah. I thought he corrected it. And like I said, that left leg, so that was the right leg that slipped and fell through. When he got to the top rope, that left leg was not on top of that rope. It was pushing that rope. And I was like, he's going to slip on that foot too.
Like he is professional.
I mean, yeah, I agree. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus The New Day. AJ Styles hit a Styles clash. That was, I have to say, it was phenomenal. It like when Dragon Lee did that bounce off, and I think it was Kofi landed right in the Styles clash position. I know that it was I know that it was a callback to the Young Bucks because they do that for the Meltzer driver, but him catching him, putting the legs around and dropping him for phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I know that's his nickname, and I know that I'm throwing it out there, but I would have said phenomenal if his nickname was like Fantastic AJ Styles.
You know, no, that was fantastic.
Exactly. I'd have been like, Tino, it was fantastic. In German, it would be fantastisch.
Oh.
But AJ Styles is making the most of this, although I still think it's a waste of AJ Styles. I know you're trying to get Dragon Lee over, but like AJ Styles should not be in tag team matches unless he wants to be in them because he wants a lighter load.
I think that's what I think. Yeah.
Vision promo. They gave it an A. This was Braun Breaker's coming out party.
Dude, I meant to text you on that. That fucking promo was fire. He hit it. He hit it perfectly. He hit the right, the emotion, the right. He
sounded like his Uncle Scott when Scott was on fire.
And then he just threw the mic down. And I mean, that fucking, I was like, I was on my couch. That promo.
And he even said, they told me backstage that I'd never have it on the mic. And I'm telling you right now, I'm the best in the world. And I was like,
Yep.
Like, yep. Good on you. And you know what? You know what's funny to me about this is that when Logan Paul first started walking out with the Vision, you kind of felt like they were going to give him a world title match against CM Punk because they even showed that like lead up.
And I think that's what kind of, if I had to guess,
that's what made Braun Breaker go, oh no, this is my spot.
That little fire under his ass. He's like, oh wait a fucking minute, I'm a Steiner bitch. I'm second generation. Fuck you. This is my time. And I wouldn't be surprised if Heyman was in his ear and like, look, dude, you got to show him something.
Oh, I'm sure Heyman actually wrote the promo, but it was up to Braun Breaker to deliver that promo. Or at least Heyman probably shot ideas back and forth with him. Because we all know that when Roman Reigns became a great promo was when Paul Heyman was in his ear. Brock Lesnar is now a decent promo most of the time, unless he's trying to do the comedy bit with like Ron Killings. Like for whatever reason, that never seems to work.
I don't know what the fuck it was. All I know, that was, like you said, that was a coming out party.
You would not have wanted to get in his way on the way to the back.
And he was just, and he got the ring, and he was literally just shaking. Fucking, you got Paul Heyman in the ring. Look, they playing back, and all the Vision in the ring was just. I was like, what the fuck is that? I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, they were basically laying down for him. They were like, he's our leader.
And I think, I don't know if that was their.
I think so. So I'm gonna tell you right now,
all up front, but I think that probably opened some people's eyes backstage.
Well, I think I think Triple H probably got in his ear and said, "Listen, I'm getting ready to strap the rocket to your ass, but I need to see it tonight. You need to sell this match January 5th right now." And he did. And day one on Netflix, January 5th.
You think he gets that belt? That was my next question.
I think he takes that title. Now, granted, he's going to have 3 other guys in his corner where CM Punk's going to be alone.
Well, so far, we don't know that.
CM Punk has always been alone.
But he'll come out alone. We don't think anybody will come out to try to even the odds. I guess is what I'm saying. To try to help.
I don't know. What do you think?
He earned the respect of Roman.
Did you hear what he actually said during the match when him and Roman were in the match together? He said Zebros.
Zebros.
So the new movie Zootopia 2.
Oh.
They're the police officers who are zebras, and they fist bump each other and say Zebros in the movie. And CM Punk looked at Roman and said, Zebros.
That's funny.
It's fucking hilarious.
That is fucking hilarious. Okay. Okay. I didn't catch that.
Uh-huh. He looked at him. Zebros.
Did Roman pound him back?
He probably did the, like get out of my face. And Gunther versus Solo Sikoa. WWE very rarely does heel versus heel matches.
That was a good match too, though.
Did you notice who the crowd was behind?
They were behind Solo.
They were. Now, the question is whether or not they were behind Solo because they knew Gunther was winning this fucking tournament, or if it's because they actually like Solo in the capacity where he could be a babyface, because they were babyface popping him.
I think Solo has two.
And sorry for making this take so long. I know you want to be off in an hour and a half, but
no. I think Solo's coming to his own with that whole leader, the MFT, and him just being them letting Solo be Solo. You remember when they were pushing Roman down our throats and they finally let Roman be Roman and he got over? I think it's the same thing going for Solo. Solo's just fucking having a ball, being an asshole, and I think people are seeing that he really is good. You know what I mean?
When he does the, he has a weird charisma to him. It's not your standard charisma. It's not oh, he's likable or he's hateable. There's something different about this cat, And
he can be funny because he does and says some funny ass shit, but he also can get it done in the ring.
And Michael just mentioned that him talking about the Wyatts was great. I agree.
Dude, that promo when he said him, I'm like, oh, you just made it personal. I'm like, oh, you just made it personal. He goes, you're not a Wyatt. I'm gonna take everything. I'm like, the fuck, is he crazy? But hey.
But dare I say that match is probably Solo Sikoa's best match since being on the main roster.
Which match?
The Gunther match.
Yeah.
Like he sold all of Gunther's stuff. He baby faced it, which we really hadn't seen. I don't know if we've ever seen Solo baby face it.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, to me it was great. And then we got Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa, and
that match was
and I sent you a message about this because when Alexa and Charlotte were walking down to the ring, Alexa was very when she was tapping people's hands and stuff, like giving them high fives. And I sent you a message saying, I think they're losing this match.
I knew that.
And then it was a double DQ, which could have also been a reason for frustration from Alexa there.
Yeah.
So, anyways, next show up. I'm not going to talk about NXT because we're going to talk about NXT Deadline. So we'll do both AEW Collision and Dynamite.
I haven't watched Collision, so
it's okay. We're going to talk about this though. I need to move this down onto the other screen so that I can actually move it. What we have here is our Continental Classic Gold division, and you know what? I'm going to take this off the screen just so that we can see all of it. Right now, we have Okada with 3 points. We have Speedball, has only had one match so far, 0 points. Kyle Fletcher leads the Gold League with 6. Kevin Knight with 3. Pac with 3. And now, because Darby Allin is in the hospital with a neck brace on, Jungle Jack Perry loses his first match to Kyle Fletcher. On the other side, we have John Moxley with 3 points, but he's lost 2 matches now. Claudio with 6 points, having lost 1 match to Okada. We've got Takeshita with 6 points, having beaten John Moxley and Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong sitting there with 0 points. I'm sorry, I wouldn't say Lindsay Dorado, but it's Mascara Dorado with 3 points and Orange Cassidy with 3 points. So on the blue side, we've got 2 people with 6, 1 person with 0. On the gold side, we have 2 people with 0, but I'm going to say Jungle Jack Perry, it's because he got added late. But Speedball, do we see Speedball winning any of these matches?
He'll win one.
What's that?
He'll win one.
He'll win against Kevin Knight, won't he? Kevin Knight will feel bad, and he'll lay down for him.
I'm gonna go for a surprise. I think he'll pull one over on Pac.
You know, if they really wanted to do it in a surprise fashion, I would say he should be the only guy that beats Kyle Fletcher.
I can see that too.
But I don't see it. I just don't see it.
I don't know. He'll come back and win one.
He's got to win at least one, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're not even going to do the whole he goes to a time limit draw for 1 point against Kevin Knight. They're going to have to give him at least one win.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, there are no current 1 point draws, though.
Yeah, it's still early.
Well, John Moxley's only got 2 matches left.
I think John Moxley's going to fucking fizzle out. I think he's just going to be stuck at 3.
Well, you know, I did put up I did create a little banner for something called the self-destruction of John Moxley, which only has a 5-second stay up on the screen thing, and then it's going to turn off, I think. No, it looks like it went away. And the reason why is because I think what they're doing is they're leading to John Moxley getting kicked out of the BCC or whatever they call it now, the Death Riders. Gets kicked out of the Death Riders, and from there, you know, I was saying Claudio. And when we look at the Dynamite results, I don't really want to go through all of the Dynamite results, but I'm going to try to without. Oh shoot, I pulled up the actual AEW site for it. Let me see if I can pull up Bleacher Report because I like theirs more. Here we go. Okay, so Samoa Joe and Eddie Kingston had a face-off. And did you see this, Tino?
Mm-hmm.
What did you think?
Eddie Kingston was just being Eddie Kingston. He's like, I'm gonna come back here, then I'm gonna go back to my room and take a nap. I'm like, yep, that's about it.
But he did say that he doesn't want to see this bullshit Joe.
Yep. He said,
and he said that this bullshit Joe would lose to him in a match.
No, actually, what he said was, if you don't bring the killer Samoa Joe, he said, I'm gonna eat you alive. Is what he said.
So and thank you for correcting me.
And I think he might pull it off. I'm not saying he's going to hold it. He might pull it off.
You know, I said a long time ago, and I know you probably want to call me out for saying it, so I'll just go ahead and say it again, that I actually did say this, that at one point I said I don't ever see Eddie Kingston being an AEW world champion.
And I've been
Ring of Honor world champion, yes. AEW world champion, no.
And I argue with you back then.
You did. If Eddie Kingston keeps doing what he's doing now, I could see it. I do find it interesting that Eddie Kingston is being pushed to this level when he just came back. But storyline and everything else, and the timeline for how long Samoa Joe's probably going to be wrestling and everything else.
I think they were pushing him before he got hurt. They were.
Yeah, you're 100% right. You're falling off the screen, by the way. I don't know what's going on there.
I'm leaning back. I'm getting comfortable. I'm getting tired.
Just lean it down. There you go. There you go.
I think that they're just.
Thought you were shrinking.
No, I think you're picking up on that the push that they were giving him before he got hurt.
Well, I think it's that. What's going on, Mr. Helios? Mr. Helios in the chat now. I agree with you, but I also think it's because people like Samoa Joe are like, I can do something with him. You know, hell, like the only reason why Samoa Joe is a 2-time AEW world champion is because he beat the pants off of Adam Hangman Page in that promo battle.
Yeah.
Like, and it exposed Hangman. I hate to say it, it exposed him.
And Eddie's good on the mic.
That's what I mean. Samoa Joe wants a full-on sports entertainment moment with someone, right? He wants the promos for the build-up because he wants to make the money, and then he wants to sell the pay-per-views. So he wants to sit there and go, Eddie Kingston and I can make magic on the mic, and then when we finally break down and have that match, I want to show that it's willing, that it's able to get 20,000 more buys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think that's like, between you and me, when we talk about AEW from time to time, I'm always sitting there going, they're still going after the same person. They're still going after the same fan. They're still, and that's why I always said I never saw Eddie Kingston as the world champion, because while going after that same fan is one thing, Tony Khan does have to think about, how do I get more people watching the program? If Eddie Kingston keeps doing what he did this past week, and I think he's only got like a 2-week build-up for this match, so I don't think he's winning it. But it doesn't mean it's going to end the feud. And we saw with Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe only had like a 2-week build-up to his match, didn't win that first one, but did win the second one.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see that again. Although I do think that we're going to get MJF coming back at some point, and I think he's going to be the one that gets mad at Joe. And I think that's going to be the real money match.
Okay.
So I think Eddie Kingston's the heater for it. I think he's the Kevin Owens here. You know, like how long did Roman keep that title? And Kevin Owens every 6 months or so would suddenly be back in that main event match.
Yeah.
He was the heater.
I know. I just want to see. I think he deserves it. I want to see him get that belt at least once.
You and I both wanted to see Kevin Owens win that world title off of Roman multiple times during that run. Didn't happen. Now Kevin Owens is out, and the WWE is probably missing him by quite a bit, because the guy makes everybody look good. Eddie Kingston makes everybody look good as long as they're willing to go to that level that he goes. So I agree with you. This is the same thing. So my whole statement of I never see him as a world champion, it's the same statement I make about Kyle O'Reilly. I just don't see them ever putting the faith enough in Kyle O'Reilly to give him that belt, because you're trying to show that the people that you do put the belt on have outside promotability. Your MJF, who was just in Happy Gilmore 2. your Samoa Joe, who was just in 2 seasons of
Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal. That type of stuff. That's where you really want to go. Mercedes Moné being in The Mandalorian, like all that type of stuff. Those are the people you want to promote because they have the appeal to the outside audience. So Eddie Kingston, I'd love to see him in some sort of like gangster show on TV because he'd be great. He'd be the best possible bum on LA Law and Order that you'd ever see.
Shut up.
But he would kill that role. But he'd never be the guy that you're like, oh, he's the defense attorney.
All right.
Am I wrong?
No.
Okay. So we had that. Pac versus Okada. Okada defeated Pac. So Death Riders 0-1 that night. Kyle Fletcher versus Kevin Knight. Kyle Fletcher wins. What's funny is Bleacher Report gave the match an A, gave a C to the follow-up. Next up was Hardcore Holiday Death Match. Now, so this was the women's tag team tournament. And they decided out of nowhere that instead of just a regular match between Marina Shafir, Megan Bayne, Toni Storm, and Mina Shirakawa, that they were going to have a holiday death match. Nobody else in this entire tournament had a hardcore match.
I don't understand why they did it, but...
Well, I do, and it's because it allowed them to show what Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir can do and how scary they should be, but also allowed your baby faces here to beat them in their own match. So it really did make Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa the favorites going into the finals of this tournament because it's them versus the Babes of Wrath, right?
Yes.
Okay. Next up, the Ops versus the Dark Order. I didn't even know the Dark Order still worked there.
They've been in ROH.
But I didn't know that. And then we got John Moxley versus Claudio. This was a clinic. This was a good match. Like John Moxley is actually trying to sit there and go, "Hey, PWI, I am the best wrestler going today." He's not. But he's trying to sit there and say, I can do the wrestling stuff. But then they go to commercial and they come back and he's bleeding.
Somebody blew on him too hard.
What's funny is I was listening to the coach's show this week, and coach sat there and said, they went to commercial. They came back. He was bleeding. When did it happen? They didn't even show a replay. And I was like, the wind blew too hard on him, coach. Come on. And then off air, I think I told you, I don't know if I said this live, but off air, because you were wondering what's going on with the Death Riders here, because Claudio got the win. So based on what we were talking about last week, I think we're leaning closer to Claudio taking over the Death Riders, except on their social media account, Tino, they showed John Moxley, Pac, and Marina Shafir doing push-ups in the back. And Claudio joined them, and this was in a stairwell hallway. He walks through a door. Claudio walks in. John Moxley goes, "You're late. We've been doing this for a while now." And Claudio just bends down and starts doing push-ups. And they start talking about it doesn't matter who in the Death Riders wins the Continental Classic as long as a Death Rider wins. So John Moxley says, "Doesn't matter if Pac wins. It doesn't matter if Claudio wins because the Death Riders win." And then you hear Claudio go, "It doesn't matter if John Moxley wins because then the Death Riders win." And he said it just like that. And it was like, is that just because your promo skills have gone down since you don't talk on the microphone anymore, Claudio? Or was it saying something? Because everybody wants at least one person in the Death Riders to look at the camera like this when it comes to John Moxley. We just want one person to do it. We want the setup. We want the build for it, right? And there's none of it. So right now, I think when they beat him down, they're hoping it's going to be a surprise and a shock. And we're all like, this is pro wrestling.
Yeah.
That bitch can't win a match. He's going to get beat down. Like, prove you deserve to be in the Death Riders, mister. I tap out at every event.
Yeah.
So anyways, I did pull up Collision because of the Continental Classic, so I'm gonna pull that up. Real quick, these were the matches. Orange Cassidy defeated Roderick Strong. I already mentioned that. FTR called out the Bang Bang Gang. I don't think it went as well as it did the week prior when you were actually talking about how good Juice was on the mic.
Mm-hmm.
Mascara Dorado defeated Claudio Cassidy. What the fuck? Claudio controlled the pace and power. Dorado would unleash speed rallies. Then Claudio pounded him down again. On the finish, Claudio went for a suplex. Dorado escaped, falling to the mat. The luchador landed a shooting star press for a huge upset. What are they trying to do with this?
I don't know.
Like, how do you feel about that? Like, he just got a massive win against the former 4-time world champion, John Moxley.
That's how I feel about it.
Swerve Strickland gave a promo. Swerve has his eyes on Smojo in the AEW World Championship. Swerve offered to back Hangman Page up at Winter is Coming for one night only, though, even though the two of them got out of cars at the same time and walked together to the ring.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Mercedes Moné defeated Layla Gray to retain the title. Boo. Ricochet defeated Ace Austin. Who is Ace Austin?
He's from TNA.
So he must be under contract with AEW now.
Yeah, because he used to be with he was with ABC. He was with what's that dude that they got hurt? They were tag team champions in TNA, and dude literally like broke his neck or something. He's out. And so,
Gresham?
Was it Gresham?
No, but you know what? I don't think it was Gresham. Gresham, though, who has suffered multiple strokes, was just cleared to wrestle again.
Oh my God!
Apparently, the AEW one also must have had the stupid thing. No, it says off there. I took it down for the Continental Classic thing. Konosuke Takeshita defeated John Moxley in the final match.
Christopher Bay.
Oh, Chris Bay, yeah.
Chris Bay and Alec and the dude Ace Austin were tag team champs, and then Bay got hurt, and I guess they didn't know what to do with him.
Yeah, that was like a neck injury, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's been out for a minute.
Yeah. Although they did I think they did a special, and he came out and was able to cut a promo.
Yeah, they did. It was like a fundraiser for him.
Yes, I remember that now.
Yeah.
Takeshita finished with the Raging Fire Driver, 3 points to Takeshita for 6 overall. Moxley stays with 3. Moxley now only has 2 more matches to go, and he's only got 3 points, which means he's tied with Pac for, and I'll put this back up on the screen. He's tied with Pac with 3 points overall on this. But he, like Claudio, currently has 6. Now, Moxley's last 2 matches are against Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong. So if we were to debate this right now, out of those 2 matches, how many wins does John Moxley get?
He might surprise us and come back and win 2.
I mean, he might get 9 points total, but do we see? Actually, I see Claudio losing to Takeshita and beating Roddy. So I see Claudio finishing with 9 points.
So you think? So who do you?
So if Moxley wins both of those guys from the Death Riders will finish with 9. But I see Takeshita beating Claudio. And you know what? I hate to say it. I don't see Takeshita losing a match here.
Really?
He might go the time limit with somebody, but I don't see him losing one. Like, Claudio would be the only one that he could lose. Orange Cassidy versus Takeshita, I don't see Takeshita losing that. And I already told you that I think it's Takeshita versus Okada in the finals, because Okada's on the other side. And Okada, I think, only has 3 points right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I see Okada beating Kevin Knight, and I see him beating Speedball. I don't even see those being close. Technically, and I hate to say this, those should be squashes. They won't, because they want to hit the high flyers in with all their flippy flop moves.
Here you go, the flippy flop moves.
I only said that because that's what Triple H would have said about them before he actually took over NXT.
You're the flippy flop guys.
You're the flippy flop guys, exactly. And to be honest with you, I really only see Mike Bailey getting points against Kevin Knight. I don't see him beating Jungle Jack Perry. I don't see him beating Okada. And I don't see him beating Kyle Fletcher.
But that's why I think they'll do it, because you don't see it coming.
All right. Out of all of them, the one that I could see Mike Bailey squeaking out a win would be against Kyle Fletcher, who I think is going to win all the other matches. I think he's going to have 12 points by the end.
Kyle Fletcher, you think he'll have 12?
Yeah, because I think he's going to win 2 more.
So who do you think is going to win the total and they have to go against Okada?
Well, if they're tied at the end of the thing, which if Okada wins all 3 other matches, which is possible, then Kyle Fletcher versus Okada on the Gold League would have a sudden death match, wouldn't it?
I'm still saying I think Takeshita's going to win, and he's going to be the one going against.
Well, Takeshita's on the other side, though. Takeshita's on the Blue League. Takeshita's right here. That's why I've been saying it's going to be Okada and Takeshita to break up the Don Callis family. Although now that I'm thinking about it, it could be Kyle Fletcher and Takeshita to break up the Don Callis family. But I think that Okada and Kyle Fletcher are going to be the final match, because remember, Okada lost to Kyle Fletcher already. So if they end up going to this league's finals, I could see Kyle Fletcher lose it or losing the final match against Okada, so they're 1-1, and then Okada goes up against Takeshita on the other side, and that's kind of what I expect.
Okay,
and I see that being the implosion of being an implosion of the Don Callis family. Like I see him getting mad about certain things. Tony D'Angelo and Eddie Kingston should play henchmen
it was funny.
In a kid's Christmas. Absolutely. Although right now, apparently, it looks like Tony D'Angelo is being groomed for a new gimmick. It's kind of weird.
I was wondering where he's been.
Well, didn't he show up at NXT?
When? I don't remember. I would remember seeing him at NXT.
Well, let's run through some SmackDown results real quick, and then we'll get to the NXT PLE. SmackDown, here we go, and I only want to hit the highlights here.
Yeah, because it's almost 9:00. You're ready to piss me off.
I did?
No, I said I'm getting cranky. I'm getting ready to get pissed off.
Oh! Ilya Dragunov versus Carmelo Hayes. We finally got them to sit there and tell us that we're going to get Ilya versus Tommaso.
Only because.
Say it.
He came out there and he finally pissed him off enough to do it.
Dragunov versus Hayes. Does Ilya Dragunov have the worst finisher in all of pro wrestling?
That H-bomb thing? Yeah. I'm just going to fall on top of you, my forearm. No.
And then pin you like he's trying to fuck you.
Pretty much.
It's okay when Rhea Ripley pins you while trying to fuck you. It's not okay when Ilya Dragunov pins you while trying to fuck you. Alexa Bliss versus Kairi Sane. I was happy to see Alexa finally get a win. Because I kind of feel like when it comes to her and Charlotte having singles matches and still coming down to the ring together, it's always Alexa that eats the pin.
Yeah.
Jade Cargill versus Alba Fire. What? Why? Why'd we even have this?
Because at first it's heel against heel. They're trying to, I don't know if they're trying to do more of a, they're trying to push Chelsea further because Chelsea's about to turn face because she's already getting face pops like nobody's business.
She's definitely about to turn face because this also brought out Kiana James and Julia, who beat her down. So, yeah, which I find terrible because I love Ethan Page and Chelsea Green.
But it's one of those organically people aren't going to boo her, and I think they're getting to the point where it's getting to the point. Let's go, Cena. Cena sucks because if you notice when he comes out, that his song is Ego, and they're singing asshole instead of ego. So,
by the way, I love his entrance music. There are very few NXT guys coming out right now that I said, or girls that I come out that come out and I go, yeah, I like that. But when it goes ego,
yeah,
kill him with a smile.
That one, and Tommaso's.
Tommaso Ciampa had the greatest entrance music of like anytime I do the creator wrestler, it's Tommaso Ciampa's music.
Yeah.
Gunther versus LA Knight.
Fuck you.
Now, Tino, I thought you were watching SmackDown at the same time as me because you were watching at the beginning of the episode, so you were texting me from the beginning.
I think I fell asleep and I had to rewind.
You were getting ready for your show.
That's right.
You were getting ready for your show, and all of a sudden, like I was like, damn, and you were like, what? And I was like, what did I say? I said like, whose outfit was it that I? Liv Morgan's outfit, I think is what I said.
And I was like, bullshit. I didn't take. I was setting up. I'm like, bullshit. Something happened. I said something.
Oh no, that was Monday night. I said Liv Morgan's outfit because the Jey Uso match happened and you weren't caught up yet.
Yeah.
But this time I was watching that match with Gunther, and what I said to you.
You said I said, damn it, when Gunther got his foot on the ropes. And I said, LOL. I knew you were both.
Well, it's because you said, so I guess Gunther won the match. And I was like, no, I said, damn it, because he put his foot on it. And by the way, that was when I said, damn it. I wasn't making that up. And I didn't want to sit there and go, oh no, Gunther did win the match. Like,
yeah. I mean, I knew.
Because I also said to you, I hope they were listening in the back to the reaction because they were not happy. They weren't. It wasn't just they weren't happy. They were very disappointed that LA Knight didn't go over here. Mm-hmm. And by the way, I know a 42-year-old LA Knight going up against John Cena for the very first time is not the best possible match situation here. I know it. But neither is the 38-year-old Gunther going up against him. Like, Gunther...
That should have been a Carmelo Hayes. That should have been...
Gunther tapping out John Cena is not going to be a feel-good moment for John Cena to give, thank you, everybody, for showing up tonight. I'll see you at the Hall of Fame.
Do you think he goes out looking up at the lights, or you think he beats Gunther? Because I thought the whole...
You know, this is a great
somebody.
This is a great moment. This is a great conversation right now. What do you think? I want your opinion because you always talk about how I talk too much.
I don't think that Cena. I think that Cena goes out on a win, and I don't see him going out losing. I don't. not a feel good, not his last match, Saturday night's main event. I think they want people to go away happy. I mean, yeah, they'll be happy to see Cena, but let him beat Gunther.
But he's old school. Okay. And in fact, I don't know if you saw it, but John Cena had a conversation. I think it was not Chris Van Vliet. It wasn't Joe Rogan. I don't remember who it was, but someone said to him that his dad had a radio show appearance this week and said that he was flat out upset that Gunther was the final opponent. John Cena Sr. sat there and said he was upset about it. And when Cena was asked about it, he was like, "That's my dad. He's just being real with you. He doesn't like it."
But too, I would think that Cena being all about giving people opportunities, giving the young guys opportunity. Like I said, why not a Carmelo Hayes? Why not let fucking Javon Evans? Why, you know what I'm saying? Give somebody a push or a rub.
This is where that 220 dates would have really worked out well.
Yes.
You know, him picking out the Iron Survivor people was great, but him not being there during Deadline to sit there and talk about all of these people means that someone gave him a script and said, "Hey, John, can you say this?" You know? Like, I don't like that. If John Cena had worked the 220 dates, he would have gotten a match against Carmelo Hayes. Remember, John Cena used to tout the fact that he faced off against Jerry the King Lawler and then also faced off against like one of the newest guys, Seth Rollins or whatever. That was the expansion of what John Cena had faced off against. And he would have been able to get a match against Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Carmelo Hayes, LA Knight, Gunther, Ludwig Kaiser, all these guys, Chad Gable.
Yeah.
All of these guys, if he had been around all year. And I hate to say it, but this is where I think that it is Triple H dropped the ball. Like, if John Cena was willing to do it and take what they were willing to pay him for it, because that's where I think there's a little hiccup in it, right? I think that they said, "We're going to give you this much money for this many dates," and he said yes. But he said, "What if we did this many dates?" And then it's like, "Well, how much do I have to pay you for those?" Because his time isn't cheap anymore.
Yeah.
And hell, I listened to former Baron Corbin this week talking about how John Cena has his days down to the minute. This is how much time you get with me.
Oh, shit.
So it's going to be really interesting when I watch the Chris Van Vliet interview with him this week, because it's like the first time in like 5 or 6 years that he's been with Chris Van Vliet. And I assume he's going to go 2 hours with him. But it might be down to the minute, an hour and a half or an hour and 20 or whatever. You know what I mean? So, but now we're down to this. We're hearing that Gunther is going to, like John Cena said that he wants to be the first match. And I do like the fact that the rest of the night is going to be NXT people versus WWE people. But unfortunately, in this situation, I don't see Obafemi beating Cody Rhodes.
No.
Unfortunately, I see that one ending in disqualification somehow. Drew McIntyre fucking the matchup.
I don't think it's Drew McIntyre. It might be Drew.
Well, he beat the shit out of Drew McIntyre in the car this week.
He screamed like a bitch.
He screamed. Yeah, you messaged. That's what you messaged me. You were like, Drew McIntyre screamed like a bitch.
He did. He went, ah, get him off me.
He did. He was like, get him.
That did make me laugh. I'm like, who's screaming? And I realized, oh shit, that's Drew.
Oh, that's Drew. But I agree with you. I think it should, obviously it didn't have to be Solo. Solo already had a match with him. It didn't have to be Austin Theory, already had a match with him. But what about a Grayson Waller? What about a Braun Breaker? Yeah. So now we're back to full circle on this. You think he beats Gunther?
Yes.
I don't think he's got enough in the tank to beat Gunther.
But I don't, why Gunther? Gunther was already the longest in NXT, the longest champion. He came up here. He was the longest Intercontinental champion. He's already
He was the longest UK champion.
Yeah. Okay. But
which they don't even have anymore.
Give that to somebody else. He's already had his shit. No, I think he beats him. I'm calling it.
I think Triple H sits there, and when he talks about Gunther, he goes, all those internet pundits sitting there saying, I don't make new stars. I made Gunther.
He didn't make Gunther. Vince made Gunther.
No. He created the name Gunther. And Walter was big before he became Gunther.
I guess so, yeah.
But his biggest claims to fame now are because of Triple H. And he is a Triple H guy. He's one that Triple H hasn't fucked up. The guy's won like 87% of his matches since coming to the main roster.
Well,
he's won like 92 matches or 92% of his matches by actually winning NXT and right.
Yeah.
Okay. Although they got to give Ilya Dragunov a new finishing move before I ever believe that he can beat Gunther again. So yay or nay on Cena winning his final match?
I said yay.
Okay. I want to say yes. I want to say that John Cena wins his final match. I think in any sport, if we were looking at it as a real sport, when you had the Kobe Bryant, you had Derek Jeter sit there and play their final games, they had a chance to win. And they might have won. I don't remember. I don't think that was that important. But in pro wrestling, it is important. So I'd love to see John Cena win. I'd love to see Gunther get up and John Cena put his hand out to shake it and Gunther actually give him a sign of respect.
Okay.
I'd love to see that. And then John Cena take a microphone, do his whole thing, not get cut off like Bill Goldberg in his final match on Peacock. And then go to those other matches. Now, one last thing for tonight, Tino. We're going to talk about NXT Deadline. Did you get a chance to watch it?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Ricky Saints versus Obafemi opened the match. Floor is yours. Did the right guy go over?
No.
Why?
Obafemi is ready to move up. Now, I'm wondering, but part of that makes me, are they moving Ricky up now and keeping Oba down? Who do you think? Ricky's more Rockette. You know, we talked about LA Knight. Ricky is The Rock. You know, he looks like The Rock. He dresses.
Well, hold on. He looks like the Shrinky Ding version of The Rock.
But you know what I mean, though.
I know what you mean, but that's a good example of what he actually. I mean, he looks like he's been shrunk down after you heated him up.
So I think they might be calling Ricky up. Do you think the right dude went over?
You watch more NXT than I do, although I have been trying to keep up with it.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't have something for Oba on the main roster, this lets him work his skills until the night after WrestleMania.
I think that.
And go in the Royal Rumble so that you at least get a visual of him beforehand.
And that was my other point to Ricky. I keep wanting to say Starks. I know it's Saint. He is more polished, I think, than Oba. Yeah.
That was so in sync, it wasn't even funny.
he's more polished. So I think that's why they would call him up. And like you said, Oba probably does need to work on a few more things. His mic skills aren't there yet. And I don't know if it's the accent. I don't know what it is.
Well, I'll be honest with you. We've seen now with Marina Shafir that when she dropped the accent, she gives a much better promo.
Yeah, but I don't think Oba, I think that's his accent.
If it is, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
If it's a fake accent, then I would drop it. And I'd drop it now before you get to the main roster. And I think that's what it is. I think that the polish, like, I think Oba is ready in terms of what kind of matches they're going to put him in. But I don't think that he's necessarily ready to go one-on-one on the microphone with a CM Punk.
And I think Ricky is.
I do think Ricky is. I think Cody Rhodes would absolutely say is, and I wouldn't be surprised. Like, if WWE, because we keep hearing every week, Triple H is saying this is going to be the start of a new era. Fuck that. I'm so tired of it. Well, I don't even know who's actually saying that because I haven't seen anything where Triple H says that. Like, so I'm wondering if there's like someone on the internet who is an AEW fan is saying that because Tony Khan did those major announcements for so long. And now they're trying to make that what Triple H is saying every week. So I digress on that. My point to what I'm saying here is the Ricky Saints thing. I would love to see Ricky Saints show up on SmackDown, beat down Cody Rhodes from behind, and say, I'm here. I'm coming for your title. And have Cody actually have to go up against Ricky and see what kind of promo battles they do and give them like a 3-week build up to an actual match and then have Cody beat him. Like, I'm not saying that he should win that feud. I'm not saying Ricky should win, but that would be a great intro.
Let me throw this at you. What if he was the Masked Man? What if he was the Masked Man?
We haven't even really talked of who the Masked Man is. Why are you looking like the little water thing that like sits there and dips down?
Because
water.
That just hit me. While he is good on the mic,
but why would he hit CM Punk? Is he joining the Vision? Ricky's not young, and you don't want Ricky being in the Vision with Braun Breaker.
Yeah, okay.
You know what, though? I love it, except for the fact that I don't want Ricky taking the place of Braun Breaker.
Yeah, and he would. That'd be like putting Rock with the Nation of Domination.
Dude, we talk about that all the time. You know, like I would love if Ricky Saints were to join a stable that he sits there and slowly takes over from underneath. I'd love it, but not the Vision, because unless you do it to kick Braun Breaker out so he becomes the biggest babyface in the company, which I'm okay with.
I think he's gonna ride that heel for a while.
He's got to.
Yeah.
He's got to. It's perfect.
All right.
So yeah, let's go to this deadline results. And oh, hold on, it didn't cut off. Cool. No, it did. It did as soon as I said it wasn't going to.
So that was the first match. So the second match, I believe, was the women's.
Yeah, so Obafemi wins for the second time. Then we had the women's Iron Survivor match, which I'm going to say right now was match of the night.
Yeah.
And you know, normally I hate. In fact, I'll say it was match of the week.
And they actually when they said it was going to be 5 minutes for the next person to come out, it was 5 minutes for the next person to come out. Unlike that bullshit we saw in Greensboro.
I've got to be honest. I hate the stipulation that when the last person gets in, there's only 5 minutes left in the match. Because it's 25 minutes and then it's a 30-minute match.
Yeah.
So like when Sol Ruka got into the match, there was only 5 minutes left.
No, it was a 25-minute match.
Well, I thought it was 25 to get everybody in, and then it's 5 minutes more.
I think because there's 5. No, I think it's 25
Oh,
minutes.
because you're right, because there's 2 that start and it's 5. So you're right, it's a 25-minute match. So I would extend it to 30 so that everybody gets at least 10 minutes in the ring, right? Because Sol Ruka getting there with 5 minutes left, did we really think she had a real good chance of winning?
No, so Ruka wasn't. She was there longer. She just got hurt and she came back, but I don't think she was the last one in.
I thought she was the last one.
No,
Hold on, let me see.
She came back because she got hurt. Because before she got in, somebody jumped. I can't.
No, it was Kendall Gray and Kalani were the first two, right?
Yep.
Then Jordan Grace or Lola Vice.
Lola Vice.
Then Jordan Grace, then Sol Ruka.
Yeah, but before Sol Ruka could get in, Kalani had gotten eliminated, and that's
Oh yeah, and she slammed her leg into the I agree that definitely happened, but
I thought she had longer time than that though.
What's that?
Because Sol Ruka had about, didn't she have 2? They were all tied at 2, and then
I'm telling you, so if this was only a 25-minute match, then she only had 5 minutes. So I do think it was a 30-minute match. I think after the 25-minute, like the 25-minute mark was the whatever the case might be.
Okay.
So, are you surprised at who won the match?
Yes.
Are you happy?
Yes. Because I think Kendall Gray is the next big thing, and I think that she
wasn't she. And sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Wasn't she like a really big indie wrestler before she signed with Evolve?
I don't remember.
Yeah, like the name sounds so familiar to me. But
I think she might have been on. Didn't she have a stint in AEW? No. Where was she?
Maybe not with that name, but I think she was the WWE ID champion, and then the Evolve champion.
Might have been.
And now she is the women's #1 contender.
I thought it was either going to be her or Sol Ruka. Those are my 2 that I thought it was going to be.
See, so that's what I'm saying. I think that this Iron Survivor match is really a disservice to the final competitor because you don't have a lot of time to sit there and get pins. So if someone's already up 4-2 or something.
Well, yeah, that's what they and later on in the men's thing, that's why Evan Bourne said when he got to pick his spot, he said, I could be #1, but then I'll be, tired. He said I could come in last, but I don't have as much, I might have to play catch up. So I'm gonna come in #3. I'm gonna split it down the middle. That was smart. So
Miles.
Yeah, what'd I say?
You said Evan.
Miles Bourne, yeah.
Yeah. You said the old flippy flyer guy. Like I said, I felt
the right person went over.
That's tough. I'm going to say every single woman shined. But I
knew it wasn't going to be. I knew who it wasn't going to be. I knew it wasn't going to be the other 3. Those are my top 2. I said it's either going to be Sol or it's going to be Kendall. I just didn't know which one they were going to go with. And I was leaning more towards Sol, but then when Kendall won, I was like,
Wow, we're over 2 hours. But
we're
almost done. We're almost done. The whole situation with Jordan Grace, I thought Jordan Grace, this match was built for her. For
some reason they don't want to push her.
I think they know what they have with her, but they also know that they've had people there for so long. Why else is Tatum Paxley winning the women's championship in NXT? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But under no circumstance should we ever think that Jordynne Grace isn't going to be a multi-time women's champion in WWE.
I'll be glad when it happens, though. Shit.
Well, I think they know she's ready for the main roster. Although I probably would say she definitely needs mic work. Like, we all know that her body of work is great, but her mic work is... I don't even remember hearing her on the mic. So Kendall Gray wins. This now puts her up against what's her name?
Gigi's old partner.
Yeah.
Rockstar.
Jesus.
Fear. Michael, help us.
I don't know why I can't remember her name. JC Jane.
Damn it. Yes.
JC Jane. And like it was literally right there.
I'm so tired I can't even think.
Ethan Page versus Mr. Iguana. This match did not need to happen. It was fun. And Mr. Iguana is always a good time to watch in the ring. But like, I want to see Mr. Iguana versus Santino Marella. That's all I want to see.
The snake and the lizard, the cobra and the lizard.
I want to see the cobra versus the iguana. I felt Finn Balor when they had Mr. Iguana going up against Finn Balor was tops because of the puppet.
Yeah.
You know, Demonito.
Yes.
Ethan Page won this match as expected. The great thing about it, though, is that Ethan Page showed that not only is he willing to dish out punishment, but he's willing to sell for all of the moves. He is Ethan Page, to me, Tino, and correct me if I'm wrong, feels like the last of the real old school wrestlers coming up from NXT. Like he's got the Dolph Ziggler bump machine feel, but he's also going to get his licks in.
Okay.
He can talk on the mic, so he can sell the match. And then, like I said, he bumps for everybody, and yet still squeaks out the chicken shit heel victories. Like, it's exactly what you want from him. I don't necessarily ever need to see him be a babyface.
I can see that.
Izzy Dame versus Tatum Paxley.
That fucking shit pissed me off. I thought for sure. I thought Tatum was gonna get her comeuppance. So I guess there's gonna be another. I'm sure there'll be another match, but Tatum's gonna have to find somebody because it's 3-on-1. She's gonna have to find somebody somehow to even up the odds, and I don't know who it's gonna be.
Somehow, some way.
It's gonna be Hank and Tank.
No, well, it could be actually, and that's not a bad guess. I think somehow this is going to lead to Thea Hale and Joe Hendry involved in this somehow.
There's got to be two dudes. You know what I mean? To balance out the two dudes. Tatum can handle Izzy, and she needs. I think she needs a tag team behind her.
Hank and Tank would be good then. Although they probably need 4 people behind them.
Why?
Just because of how big the whatever Sean Spears group is called, how big it is.
There's only 3 of them.
Is there only 3 of them?
Yeah, it was
5 of them. I thought there was 5.
No, it was down. It was down. It's 3 of them now. Izzy and the 2 dudes. It did have Tatum, but Tatum's gone. So now it's just the 3 of them.
It used to be bigger though, right?
Yeah, because it had what's his name was in it, but he's in it. Not Briggs. Briggs is Jensen. It had Brooks Jensen, and now Jensen's down and involved.
Men's Iron Survivor match started with Javon Evans and Leon Slater.
Fucking fire.
We only got 5 minutes of it, but it was like, what can we do?
And when they grab each other, put my leg down, or you put my leg down. And then dude put Javon's leg down, and he's like, ah, and he went to go kick him. I was like, that's fucked up. Oh, but it was good. It was so good.
You and I have talked at multiple spots where we said these two are going to be multi-time WWE Tag Team Champions, and they will. They are a modern day Hardy Boys between the two of them.
I can see that.
Without the problems.
They're still young. If they stay clean.
Oh, you're saying, well, you know, that they could have the problems.
Yeah.
I think WWE tries to keep people away from that shit now.
Stay away from pain pills, alcohol, just try to, the roids. Stay away from all that shit.
Well, they both need to put some pounds on.
They
need to stop intermittent fasting.
I don't know.
Like
they're healthy. You know what I'm saying? They're healthy looking. I don't think they need to be bigger, especially for what they do. And if they put on weight, I don't know if they can particularly move like they do now.
So that's a good point. What I would say there is that there are ways to add muscle mass while also making sure that you can keep up the acrobatics. And if they were to do that, they both get themselves up to about literally like 205 pounds, because they're both at like 160. I hate,
but that's 40 pounds. That's still
well, yeah. Well, I'm saying that I expect them to be 160 pounds. They might be 180, but this is one of the things that college football has kids do. When they come out of high school and they're 220-pound linebackers, they put on 40 pounds by the time they're ready to go to the NFL. So within the next 4 years, you get the right strength and conditioning person there sitting there saying, hey, you're not just going to eat banana pudding at every meal. You're going to sit there and put this on, eat this whey protein and blah, blah, blah. Like you'll put the mass on that you need that still allows the mobility and everything else. And let's be real. Both of them need some mass. Like to ever be truly taken seriously for that world championship level, they both need some mass. Yeah, I know you hate when I say that, and you always argue with me about it.
And it's getting late. I don't feel like arguing right now. We're over.
I'm just gonna say, when was the last time you saw someone that was 170 pounds win the world championship, not named Rey Mysterio? Which, by the way, it was still like 12 years ago that he won his last world championship.
Doesn't matter. It was him. That wasn't how much?
Like 170 pounds. Because those guys are barely touching that right now.
Punk was small. I think Jeff Hardy was small.
Punk's about 210.
Now?
No, even then. In fact, he's smaller now than he was when he left. Because remember, he lost a ton of weight when he went to UFC.
I think he was smaller. We go back and watch his old videos. He was smaller.
I don't think so.
Jeff Hardy was a kid when he was smallish. He was smaller. He wasn't 200 pounds.
But he wasn't world champion then.
He did win the world champion. He was under 200 pounds.
Okay. But we're still talking 20 years.
You said no. Your question wasn't recently. Your question said, "When have you ever?" So don't try to change the question now.
I said, "What was the last time?"
But you didn't put a year. You didn't put a year.
No, I said when it wasn't. So you're right. You're right.
That could have been 20 years ago.
Hold on, I'm not trying to argue.
It's getting late. I'm getting pissy.
I'm not trying to argue. Take a deep breath, please.
Now you're trying to change the word. You didn't say that. You said, "When's the last time?" I said, "The last time." Then you want to prove I'm wrong again once again and not fucking messing with goddamn body.
But when was the last time Jeff Hardy was WWE World Champion?
Obviously, you just said 20 years ago, but that's not what you said.
No. But I'm not. Again, I'm not trying to argue, but I don't think anybody else since him has been.
So that's why it can work now.
You're not wrong. But it would take Triple H believing that one of those guys could do it.
Well, he needs to get off of Vince's dick too, because I don't know what their fucking fascination was. You got to be damn near 300 pounds to be a champion.
So I don't think it's about being that anymore. Because I think you're right. I think CM Punk is probably 210 right now. Like his arms have gotten a lot bigger since he left AEW.
I guess what I'm saying, well, maybe not 300 pounds. I guess what I'm saying is, why can't a smaller guy who's not 200 pounds be champion? That's what I'm saying. I don't understand why. And it's the same thing with Vince. They think bigger is better.
And I think that unfortunately, when it comes to when they're looking at the ratings that these people get when they're champion, and I'm just saying this, I have no data to back it up, so I could be wrong, Tino, but it is possible that these folks, they've done the background data and they see that someone who is under 190 pounds or whatever does not equal ratings. Like you and I will both say that when Braun Breaker gets the world championship, if they were on television, not just Netflix, they're going to get ratings from that, right? Yeah. We know that. Hell, I said Carmelo Hayes, but Carmelo Hayes would be like 210, 215. Leon Slater and Javon Evans. Like they, you know what they remind me of? They remind me of the 1-2-3 Kid, which is exactly what they're supposed to remind you of. He beat Scott Hall, but he didn't win any of those championships until he was at like 200 pounds. When he finally won the Intercontinental belt. He was never going to win the world championship, though.
No, he won't.
See what I mean? And unfortunately, visually, it's still a big man's game.
Fuck them. Yeah, I've never agreed with that, but whatever.
Well, I don't necessarily agree with it either. I think that it's something that, but I will say, I find it really hard to believe that a Javon Evans is going to beat a Braun Strowman, especially when he's eating everything on the menu.
And I find it hard to believe. Well, because we all know who won the Iron Survivor, and it was Javon. So now you expect me to believe he's going to beat Oba? No, he's not going to beat Obafemi. Again, why?
Well, he didn't beat him the last time.
Why are you going to give me a match that I know the outcome to?
So here's what's funny, is that everything you've been saying, you're trying to make me believe that Javon Evans should be able to beat Obafemi. And everything I've been saying is that Obafemi is easily going to beat Javon Evans.
No, I'm saying
it's not going to be easy because we've seen the match before.
I'm saying I think that Javon Evans should beat the NXT champion, should beat Obafemi. What I'm saying is I know we're not because
when's the match?
Huh?
When's the match?
What was that, New Year's Evil?
So is that like the first show of January? Last year, I think they put 2 new champions up on that show.
But I know Triple H ain't going to do that because Triple H, again, while I think that Javon Evans could be the world champion, Triple H ain't.
That's not Triple H, though. That's Shawn Michaels.
And Shawn Michaels ought to know better. His little ass.
his little ass.
He heard that his whole career too. You're too small. He even said you're too small. People told him he was too small. So for him, that's even worse.
I agree. I'm sitting here going, this is a really interesting predicament. So if you had to call it right now, Obafemi beats Javon Evans.
As much as I hate it, yeah.
Now, do you think that becomes hold on? Do you think that becomes a prolonged feud to where it happens at the takeover at WrestleMania? So then Javon Evans beats him there, and Obafemi shows up the next Raw.
March, April. That's 3 months. So you think they put a feud out for 3 months?
I could still see them adding Trick to all that and making a triple threat and everything else. And by the way, you make it a triple threat, and suddenly Javon Evans has a real chance of winning that match.
Yeah. Well, except he didn't. The last time it was a triple threat. But
yeah, because they just made him look like a pancake.
So I'm tired of Trick. I'm ready for Trick to go to the main roster. I'm tired of him being in that NXT title picture too, though.
Well, what's the story for him?
It's time for him. I don't know, but it's time. Don't put him back in the fucking NXT title picture.
You know what's going to be interesting, and we'll get off of here after this. But the interesting thing is going to be after WrestleMania when WWE does the roster cuts.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because people that helped them get to WrestleMania might be cut so they can move up people from NXT.
That's sad.
Well, it is and it isn't. It depends, because it's one of those things where it's like, if the people are sitting there going, hey, if you don't have anything for me after WrestleMania, let me go. And then they're banking on themselves, right?
Yeah.
So those people are the ones that are typically successful. The people that sit there and go, wait, what? I don't have a job now? Those are the ones that have no plan in place. And it's like, well, you should have been preparing for this all along, because you've been on the roster and we haven't used you in 6 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, Tino, I had fun tonight. Did you?
Oh, yeah. I always have fun.
All right. Well, why don't you tell everybody how to get in touch with you and do all that stuff, and also if there's anything on your wish list for Christmas that you're not sure you're going to get, so that way it's out in the
a new car.
You already got one of those, and
my wife did.
You know what? I'm not going to say it. You already got one of those.
It's my wife's. It's not mine.
But the family got one.
Okay, yeah, but she don't let me drive it. That's her car. She's already made that clear.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
She won't let me drive it.
It's been damaged now, though. She should probably let you drive it now.
She probably still won't, because she hadn't had her.
You know what? You're gonna buy you a new car, and she's gonna be like, "No, that one's mine."
Nope.
Because this one's damaged.
Nope.
This one's yours.
I already told her, because I was looking. I'm like, Then she's like, "Well, I feel bad. I got a new car, and your truck's giving you." I'm like, "Yeah, so we can share it." Oh no, she don't feel that damn bad. So
I love it. I love it.
You catch me on. I'm on Blue Sky. I'm on and Insta. Blue Sky, I'm on Tino. I'm Tino G. Insta, I'm SC Tino. You can catch me on, TikTok, Tino R. Great Music. You can catch us on X. I keep wanting to say Twitter. On X.
It's fine. Say Twitter.
Potsy and Tino. Facebook, Potsy and Tino Show. We're here each and every week on the Pots and Pan Networks. Please subscribe, like, give us thumbs up, buy our shit. We want to say thanks to Adam's House Cat. You can still catch them on the iTunes, the wrestling song for 99 cents. 99. We haven't had a Jones in a while. We haven't had a Taz and a Jones in a while.
We haven't had a good Taz Jones in a while. You're 100% right. Folks, Zor Saves Christmas launches Wednesday in comic book shops. If you are in the Raleigh or Fayetteville area, I will be at Triangle Town Center on Wednesday from 11 to 4 signing copies of Zor Saves Christmas. Please come out to Triangle Town Center and Fight or Flight Comics because they have been amazing partners for me, making sure this book comes out and comes out before Christmas, as well as Dragon's Lair on Saturday. I will probably be out there around 11 o'clock. I haven't nailed down times. They haven't posted anything about it, but I will be there because I know they're doing an art show at there where other artists will be there selling their artwork. I will also be doing that, but wanted to make sure that everybody knows they can get their new holiday tradition comic book, Zor Saves Christmas, signed by me. I'll even do a little doodle on it if you want to pay for that. But I'll be out there doing that. Otherwise, you can find me on all the socials at Pochek on X, at Rob Pochek on just about everything else, and at Rob Potsy. Let's see, here I am messing it up. At Rob Potsy Pochek on anything that is not at Rob Pochek. So Instagram, Snapchat, whatever else might be out there, at Rob Pochek or at Rob Potsy Pochek. Folks, this was episode 435 of the Potsy and Tino Show. We love you guys. We will see you next week. I don't see any reason that Tino and I are going to miss any before Christmas.
No, I leave. Well, my vacation starts the 22nd, but I don't leave to go to New York till the 27th. So that Monday after Christmas, I'll be in New York. So we might miss that one.
So if that's the case, you know that I'll rock out a show by myself. But otherwise, folks, 22nd is my birthday. If anybody wants to wish me a happy birthday on that.
That's a Monday.
Is it?
Doing a show on your, yeah, that's my first day on vacation.
I guess we're doing a show on my birthday, and I will make sure that I have some alcohol.
I'm not going to be here. You can do that show by yourself.
No. It'll be a fine show. If it's a Monday, you'll be fine. We'll do a regular show, and then I'll drink afterwards heavily.
You're right.
No. So I'll tell you what. I'll promise you right now, I will not go out early on my birthday. So I'll start drinking on the show like I do, like I did this week.
Oh God! All right, it's gonna be a long ass show. Okay.
Otherwise, you're going out with me on my birthday.
No, I'm not. No, that's a no-no.
That's a no-no?
That's a no-no.
Anyways, folks, thank you so much. We love you.
Peace out.
Episode 436 next week. We'll see you.
Good night.
Ready? Notice you the Potsy and Tino.
For the Potsy and Tino Show.
Thanks for watching.
Monday night, it's time to go. Turn on the screen with the good time shows. Wrestling life and who knows what. If it's cool or weird, they're talking it up. It's the Potsy and Tino Show.